Hello and welcome to the live class rewind. Today is a gentle class, so I'd recommend grabbing some blankets, some blocks, and a pillow. We'll be starting off in Shavasana, so go ahead, grab everything that you need, and I will meet you back here. So you can have your arms up over your head, or if you'd like to have your arms out beside you, palms face up, whatever feels best, whatever is comfortable. So I like to have my knees bent and then knees knocking together on the inside to release any tension in my lower back. And we'll just take a moment to observe our surroundings and any noise around us. And you can have your eyes opened or closed here. Maybe you hear the cat's paws walking across the ground. Maybe you hear the buzz of a car going by. But just noting and observing your surroundings, not really processing it. And then when you're ready, begin to turn that observation inward. So begin observing your breath and your breathing patterns. So you can take one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, or maybe placing both hands on your belly here. And just beginning to feel your breath. On every inhale, you feel the air flow through your nostrils, down your throat, maybe across your sternum. And then following that same path back out. Maybe you feel your belly rise and fall. Maybe you feel your rib cage expanding out. Or maybe you feel it all in your chest. We're not trying to change anything just yet, but just note it and then move on. Now taking a quick body scan, starting from the tips of your toes and working your way all the way to the crown of your head. Noticing any aches or maybe any tension. Again, not trying to change it, but just note it and observe it. Not trying to adjust anything right now. And when you've completed that body scan, we'll take one more round of breath. And then on your next exhale, completely compress everything out. Ha. We'll take a deep inhale through our nose. And then again, ha. This time, we'll place our hands on our belly here. We'll take a deep inhale and send that breath all the way down into your belly. Feel and let it expand here. And then exhale again, pulling your belly button towards your spine. Again, just like that. Inhaling, deep inhale through your nose, belly breath. And then exhale, ha. One more time, making this the biggest, fullest, deepest breath you've taken yet today. Inhaling. One more sip at the top. And then exhale, completely release. Beautiful. So we'll begin to inhale and exhale out through your nose, continuing with that belly breath. Doesn't have to be big, deep breaths like we were doing, but just trying to channel our breath into our belly and allowing our diaphragm to expand and get the fullest breath we can with every inhale. So we begin to, if you have your legs stretched out on the floor, we'll bend our knees. So our knees will be pointing towards the ceiling, and then we'll take our feet back hip width distance and just begin to rock your legs from side to side. You can place your hands on the floor, palms face down to give you a little bit of support. We're just waking up our lower spine here. Again, you don't have to flow with your breath. Just take gentle movements. Again, observing where you feel it. And then when you're ready, we'll come back through center. So our feet are that hip width distance. We're going to pick up our right foot off the mat and interlace all 10 fingers around the outside of the shin or knee. Now we're going to take a deep inhale, belly breath. And then exhale, pull your knee out and around your rib cage so it's trying to kiss your right shoulder. It doesn't have to be touching, it doesn't have to be this big cranking motion, but we're just pulling it towards that right shoulder. You can allow your left knee to fall open as you come to the outer edge of your left foot. And you gauge the intensity here. So if this is too intense of a stretch, release a little bit of tension in your arms and allow that knee to expand out away from it. If you'd like more of a deeper stretch, you can just keep pulling it in closer to that right shoulder with every exhale. And breathing, imagine now that you're sending your breath into your right hip. You can allow your right foot to relax here if you feel like it's active. We'll take another inhale together, release tension in your arms, allowing your knee to move away from you. And then exhale, pull it out and around your rib cage again, up to your right shoulder. 2 more rounds of breath here. And then on your next inhale, again, releasing tension in your arms here. And then we're going to bring our left foot so it's back planted on the earth and our left knee is pointing straight up to the sky. We're going to take our right hand to the top of our right knee and take a few knee circles here. Your left hand can be on the floor to provide stability. And you can take big knee circles, you can take small knee circles, whatever feels best here. And then if you want to incorporate your breath, inhale when your knee moves away, and then exhale as it moves in closer to your chest. So inhales for expansion, exhales for compression. And then if you haven't already, switch directions. One more round of breath here. And then we'll gently bring that right knee back into our chest. Give it one last hug in. And then gently take that right foot down towards the earth. This time we'll take our left knee into our chest here. Interlace all 10 fingers around the outside of that knee or shin. Take a deep inhale, belly breath. Exhale, pull that left knee out and around your rib cage up to your left shoulder. So both shoulders are planted on the ground here. And then you can allow that right knee to fall open, coming to the outer edge of your right foot if it feels comfortable. And then again, you gauge the intensity here. So if this is too much of a stretch in your hip, release some of that tension in your arms and allow your knee to move away from your body. Or if you'd like more of a stretch, pull it in closer with every exhale. Coming back to your breath, and imagine sending it into your left hip. We'll take one breath together here as we inhale, release tension in your arms, allow your knee to move away. And then exhale, pull it out and around your ribcage again, reset it, trying to kiss that left shoulder with your knee. Again, allowing your left foot to relax if it's active. Two more rounds of breath here. Next inhale, we'll take our left hand on top of our left knee, bring that right knee back through center so your right foot is planted on the mat. Right hand can come down to provide some stability on the floor, and we'll take those knee circles again on our left side. Again, inhale, knee pulls away. Exhale, knee comes into our chest. Taking big circles, small circles at your own pace. It's okay if you're going faster or slower than me. If you haven't already, switch directions. Then we'll gently come back to center, maybe hugging that left knee in one last time. And then when you're ready, we're going to pick both feet up off the mat and then kick our legs up into the air. So our toes are going to be flexed back here and our heels are going to be pushing, so like we're trying to stamp a hole in the ceiling. So our heel is reaching and energy is shooting through the heels, trying to reach our ceiling here. We'll take an inhale, arms reach up over our head onto the floor here. And then exhale, pull your knees into your chest, hands come to the outer knees as you pull your head in. Inhale, expand, arms and legs reach out. Legs are reaching towards the ceiling, hands are reaching behind us on the floor. And then exhale, pull everything in, crunch in. Inhale, expand, legs kick up, arms go above our head. Exhale, pull everything in. One last time. Inhale, extend, reach, big breath. Exhale, pull everything in. Inhale, gently release your head to the floor. Your legs are still, your feet are still lifted off the mat here. We want our knees bent at this 90-degree angle. Arms are going to come wide like a T on the floor. Palms face down. This is where your pillow can come in handy. We'll take it to the left side of our mat. We'll take a deep inhale here. And then exhale, take your knees over to the left side. Very gentle twist, resting on your pillow. If you need to readjust, come back through center, put your feet on the ground. Take your hips over to the right side of the mat and then bring your left knee, or bring your knees over to the left. That's just if you feel a little awkward. Then our shoulders are relaxing down towards the floor. You can take your gaze to the ceiling or over your right fingertips. We're not trying to crank anything here, just a very simple, gentle twist. Next inhale, we'll lift our right knee up, bring it to center, and then our left knee to meet it. We'll place our feet on the ground and then take our hips over to the left side of our mat. Lift your feet up off the mat again. Pillow comes to the right if you wish. Take an inhale through center and then exhale. Bring your knees over to the right side of your mat this time. Shoulders are planted on the earth and gaze can be up towards the ceiling or over to your left fingertips. You're always welcome to keep your eyes closed as well. Coming back to your breath. And if any thoughts arise or to-do lists, just let them go, note them, and come back to them later. And try to focus on being present. Next inhale, we'll lift this left knee up to center, right knee will meet it. Then we'll plant both feet on the ground here again. Windshield wiping our legs, just real quick, loosening up that spine again, waking up the legs. Both knees come into chest last time. And we're gonna just gently rock and roll our way up to a seated position. You can take a few, take big ones, small ones, whatever feels best to you this morning. And then we'll make our way to easy pose or Sukhasana. So if you want to sit on a pillow here or blanket, you can. And even if you have a blanket, you can take it underneath your knees, propping them up. And we'll sit up nice and tall. Eyes can be open or closed, gaze can be down at the floor. And then we're going to try to find our center point here. So sometimes, a lot of times we're hunched over, looking at our phones or something. So we'll bring our hands to the tops of our knees, take our shoulders to our ears, roll them back and down. And then we'll find that center point right, so our shoulders right over our hips. Begin by rocking forward, back, side to side, just to find where you are in space. And then we'll take those shoulders right over your hips when you found your center point. Chin is on the horizon. We'll sit up nice and tall. We'll inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come through heart center. We'll gaze down our fingertips or just gently close our eyes. We'll set an intention for the day, for our practice, or maybe we just thank ourselves for making it to our mat today. Or maybe sending someone a little bit of love that needs it. We'll gently take our hands back to the tops of our knees here. Again, eyes can be open or closed as we take a few neck circles. Just very, very gently. If you don't like taking neck circles, you can always drop your chin to your chest, take your left ear to your left shoulder, and then rock it across your chest again, right ear to right shoulder. Going very slowly. Again, staying present with your breath, coming back to it if you lost it. Switch directions if you haven't already. And then we'll all come back through center. Chin is on the horizon. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. We're going to interlace all 10 fingers. Exhale, press your palms towards the ceiling. Shoulders are coming up to our ears. We'll gently rock from side to side. Still breathing here. We're not holding our breath. Then we'll gently bring our hands, still interlaced, to the back of our head. We'll inhale, chest lifts towards the sky. Exhale, belly button pulls in. Elbows are trying to touch each other in the center, chin to chest. Inhale, lift and expand. Chest is reaching towards the sky. Exhale, pulling your elbows in to touch, belly button towards our spine. 2 more times. Inhale, lifting and expanding. Exhale, elbows come to touch almost, chin to chest. Last one, inhaling. And then exhale, pull it in. Inhale, we'll come back through center. You can shake out your wrists. Open and close your hands. Roll your wrists. Then we'll gently kick our legs out in front of us. You can take your blanket to the side if you had it. We'll roll our ankles, open and close our toes. And then we'll kick our feet out around us. So we're coming into our tabletop position. So that's where that pillow or that blanket can come in handy. We want our knees hip width distance here, and then our wrists are right underneath our shoulders. Your toes can be tucked, or the tops of your feet can be pressed onto the mat. We'll take a few cat-cows here. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts, hips lift. Exhale, pull your belly button towards our spine. Press firmly through your palms, broadening across your shoulder blades. Again, inhale for cow, letting your belly drop down, gaze is lifting, hips is lifting. Exhale, belly button towards our spine. I invite you to take any organic movement. So if you want to shift your hips from side to side, you can take circles here, rocking forward, coming back. Eyes can be open or closed. You can take a C shape, gazing back at your heels. Whatever's going to feel good. You can stick with the cat-cow, or maybe you hold a pose longer if you'd like. Two more rounds of breath here. We'll gently come back to that tabletop position. Core is tight here. And we're going to actually tuck our toes. Here, I'll spin around just so you guys can see. So we're going to tuck our toes here. And we're taking a little arch stretch. So we're just going to press our hips back towards our heels here, stretching out the arches of our feet. Now we want to make sure that your pinky toes are in the party and they're not escaping out to the side like mine do sometimes. And then just pressing firmly through both palms here. Stretching out the bottoms of our feet. If you'd like, you can even come up onto your knees if that feels okay. You can lean back, getting in a nice little quad stretch too, if that feels good. If not, come back to that tabletop position. And eyes can be opened or closed, and sticking with your breath here. If you are up on your knees, we'll come back down, tabletop. We'll shift our weight back evenly through both palms. Rocking our hips from side to side just for a moment. And then we'll tap the tops of our feet out on our mat. Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna kick our right leg back behind us. Toes are flexed back towards our face. Then we're going to turn our toes to the right so that right hip opens up. And then we're going to turn our toes towards the ground so both hips are level. So we want our hips level here. We'll take a deep inhale. And then exhale, pull your knee to nose. Taking that cat spine. Inhale, expanding. And then exhale, belly button towards your spine. Knee is trying to kiss your nose. 2 more times. Inhale, expand. Weight is even in both hands. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, expand. Exhale, knee to nose. We'll gently place that right knee back down. This time, left leg kicks back, toes are flexed back towards our face. Then we'll turn our toes out to the left, opening up our left hip here. And then drop your left toes back down to the earth so both hips are level. That's where it's going to stay. Take an inhale breath here. And then exhale, pull your knee to nose, cat spine. Inhale, expand. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhaling, expanding, toes are flexed back towards your face. Exhale, knee to nose. Weight is even in both hands. Last one. Inhale, expand. Exhale, knee to nose. Beautiful. We'll gently take that left knee back down to the earth. Then we're going to take our big toes to touch behind us. Knees can come out wide here. Take a deep inhale and then exhale, press back, child's pose. You can take a pillow underneath your chest here for a supported child's pose. Then gently gaze to the left or right side. You can press firmly through your palms here and then send your breath to your lower back. Again, coming back to your intention or observing your breath. Maybe we count our inhales and exhales to stay present in the current moment. Whatever you need to do to lessen that inner chatter. If you have your head turned to one side, gently lift it up, turn it to the other side to even out your neck. Again, sending your breath to your lower back. Hips are trying to reach your heels here. You can be pressing through your palms and your fingers. Next inhale, we'll come back through center, lifting ourselves up back into that tabletop position. Take a moment here to set up. Again, you can move that pillow out of the way. Knees are hip width distance. We're going to press firmly through our left hand here. Inhale, right arm reaches towards the sky. Chest opens up. And then exhale, right hand is going to thread through underneath our left. Stay here, just stretching as we inhale. Right hand reaches up towards the sky again. And then exhale, it threads under, reaching to the left. 2 more times. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Exhale, thread it underneath the left, reaching to the left side. Last one. Inhale, big stretch up to the ceiling. Exhale, thread it under. Stay here just for a moment. Then inhale, come back through center, plant that right hand on the mat. Taking our weight into our right hand this time. Inhale, left arm reaches towards the sky. Exhale, thread it under the right. It's still lifted here, reaching towards the right side. Inhale, open up. Fingertips reach towards the ceiling. Exhale, threads under this right arm. Fingertips reaching to the right side of the room. Inhale, reaching up to the sky. Open up your chest. Exhale, pull it under. This is our last one. Inhale, open up, expand. And then exhale, thread it under. Inhale, come back through center, coming into our tabletop position here. If you want to rock your hips from side to side, take a little bit of movement. So from our tabletop position, we're coming into our first downward facing dog. So walk your hand one palm's length in front of where they're at right now. We'll tuck our toes. We'll take a deep inhale breath, and then exhale, send your hips up and towards the sky. You want to keep a slight bend in your knees here. Our fingertips are spread wide on the mat, and we're pressing evenly through our knuckles, fingers, and palms. All 10 toes are facing forward, and you can't see your heels anymore here. Keep a slight bend in your knee. Even though your heels are still reaching towards the earth, they don't need to be planted there. Begin to walk your dog out from side to side. You can shift your hips from left to right. Again, finding any organic movement here in your downward facing dog that'll make it a little bit more comfortable for you. You can shake your head yes, or you can shake your head no. This will be our only down dog, I promise. And when you're ready, we'll find some stillness here. We'll take a breath together. So exhale wherever you're at in your breath cycle. We'll take a deep inhale through our nose. And then exhale, H-A-ha. Beautiful. Seal your lips and begin inhaling and exhaling out through your nose. And when you're ready, we'll inhale high up onto our toes. Exhale, bend your knees, and then gently walk to the top of your mat. Hands can lift up off of your mat here. Feet are hip-width distance. And then we'll gently inhale, roll all the way up to standing. Arms will reach up overhead. And then exhale, hands come down by our side. Take a moment to find our center standing here. So our feet are hip-width distance. We're going to pick up all 10 toes and then firmly plant them onto the earth here. When you're ready, inhale, shoulders to your ears. Exhale, roll them back and down your back. Beautiful. And then begin rocking, the same thing that we were doing when we were sitting. We'll gently rock our weight forward, back, and side to side to find our center. So our hips are right over our ankles and shoulders are right over our hips, and the crown of our head is reaching towards the ceiling. Palms can be facing forward or relaxing by our side. And when you've found that center point, we'll inhale again, shoulders to our ears. Exhale, roll them back and down your back. Chest is lifting towards the sky. Feet are firmly planted on the ground, and your head is lifting towards the ceiling. Well, inhale, arms reach up overhead. We're going to grab opposite elbows here. If you would like to take your stance a little bit wider, you can. We'll inhale, lift through center, and then exhale, hinge to the right. So you're sending your hips over to the left side of the room. Maybe gaze comes up towards the ceiling here as you send your breath down your left side body. Breathing, keeping your core tight. We're not trying to crunch into our right side, so still lifting and extending. Inhale, bring everything back to midline. Exhale, send your hips over to the right side of the room. Gaze comes up towards the ceiling. Breathing down that right side body. Again, we're not trying to crunch over into our left side, so keeping it lifting and extending. If gaze doesn't feel good up on the ceiling, you can always gaze down towards the floor. Again, core is tight here. Inhale, come back through center. Then we're going to drop our elbows onto the horizon. We'll take a deep inhale, lifting up through center, and then exhale, gently twist to the right. Inhale will bring us back through center, and then exhale, gently twist to the left. Keeping those elbows at shoulder height here. Inhales bring you through center, and then exhales take you to the left or right. Flowing with your own breath. Two more rounds of breath here. Inhales bring you back through center. Unlace your arms. Arms reach up overhead. Then exhale, we're going to take them to our hips. So we're coming to the top of our mat here. You might want to take your feet out a little bit wider than our mat. Well, inhale, lift through our chest, and then exhale, begin to bend your knees as if you're squatting down, and those hands are coming to your inner thighs. We're gently just going to rock from side to side, straightening one leg and then the other, maybe lifting your toes or foot up off the earth to get a deeper stretch down your hamstrings here, but keeping your hips low in that squat form. So your legs are still working here. Chest is slightly lifted and shoulders are away from your ears. Just shifting from side to side, small movements. If you'd like, you can sink deeper. If you want a more of an intense stretch. And you're ready, we'll gently come back through center and we'll lift up, standing all the way up, arms reach up overhead. And then exhale, forward fold, hinging from your hips and leading with your heart. Keeping a slight bend in your knees here. Option if you want to heel toe your feet closer together, you can, or keep them out wide. But we want the top of our head reaching towards the floor. Option to grab opposite elbows here for a ragdoll. You can keep your hands on the floor. You can even bring them to a block or a pillow. Then you can begin to shift from side to side. Again, maybe bending one knee, straightening the other. But the point of our forward fold is not to get our legs super straight, so we want to keep a slight bend in our knee. We want to try to extend our spine. So when you're ready, we'll gently rock our weight to the balls of our feet here. Again, heels are the gas, our toes are the brakes. They won't let us topple over. And with every exhale, our spine is lengthening. The top of our head is reaching towards the floor. It's trying to touch our mat here, so our gaze is right behind us. Release any tension in your neck. Let it drop down. Again, you can incorporate movement. And we'll gently, if you are moving, we'll gently come back through center. Unlace your hands if you had opposite elbows. We'll inhale, just resetting our spine, rolling all the way up to standing. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands will come down by our side. And then we'll gently make our way to our mat here. I won't take you into a crazy flow, I promise. We're just gonna find our way to a seated position. So our legs are out in front of us here, and then we're going to take this right leg and bring it to your inner thigh, or you can bring it near your knee, or extend it out even farther, but we're going to fold forward over this bent leg. So this is, again, where your pillow and your blanket can come in handy. So we'll set up. So we want our left toes flexed back towards our face, and then again, This right knee is bent in, our foot is towards our inner thigh here. We'll sit up nice and tall, inhale, and then exhale again, hinging from our hips. We'll gently walk our hands forward over that bent leg. And then you gently gauge the intensity here, so you can stay lifted if you'd like, or you can begin, maybe with every exhale, you release a little bit closer to the floor or a pillow. So you'll feel a deep stretch down your inner left leg here. Toes are flexed back. You're shooting your heel out towards in front of you. So you're trying to stamp forward with that left heel. And breathing, if you'd like, you can bring your forehead to your pillow or your blanket here. And sometimes when we're up here with our arms out wide, we have our shoulders up in our ears. So gently try to bring those shoulders, relax them down. If you want to walk yourself up a little bit, take an inhale, and then exhale, maybe fold forward a little bit deeper, you can. You don't have to have those arms super active. You can bring your elbows down to the earth or your pillow. And then returning to your breath. Maybe imagine sending your breath down your inner left leg, releasing any tension. Finding ease in the pose with every exhale. If you want to go ahead and let that left foot relax a little bit so it's not flexed back towards your face. Next inhale, you'll slowly walk your hands up the side of your pillow, make your way to an upright position. Then we'll kick our right leg out. You can give our legs a little shake real quick, and then bring that left leg towards your inner right thigh. Again, you can extend it out a little bit, so if you want it kind of closer to your knee or even farther away here, you can. I like to have mine tucked in close. And then you can bring that pillow right back to where it was. And then when you're ready, sit up nice and tall. Inhale, breath. And then exhale, begin to walk your hands out along your pillow or your mat and begin to fold forward. And again, noting that each side of your body is different. So this side might be a little bit easier or it might be a little bit tighter. But go easy. Each side of our body is different, like each day. And then you want to flex your toes back towards your face on your right foot just for now. So you're trying to press that heel towards the wall. And then if your arms are extended out, try to relax your shoulders away from your ears, maybe dropping your elbows to the floor or your pillow. And begin to let your spine round down. Maybe taking your forehead to your pillow or your blanket or your block. If your toes are flexed back towards your face, gently release them, allowing your right foot to relax. Maybe imagining sending your breath down your inner right leg. Next inhale, you'll gently begin to lift yourself up, walking your hands down the side of your pillow, your mat, to lift you up to an upright seated position. And then again, we'll kick both legs out in front of us, give them a little wiggle. You can roll your ankles, open and close your toes. And we're going to take this into a butterfly position. So soles of your feet are coming to touch. If this is super hard on your knees, you can take a blanket and put them underneath there. So the blanket wraps across your feet and then comes under your knees so it supports them and lifts them up a little bit. Or you can put a pillow underneath each knee. It's really up to you. I'm going to take my props to the side. So you can have your feet pressed farther away from you, or you can pull them in closer to your groin. Again, we'll sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, begin to hinge forward from your hips, long spine. And then maybe we stop here. Maybe that's our forward fold today for now. If you'd like, you can hinge forward a little bit more, maybe bringing your forearms to the floor or a pillow. You can place a pillow over your feet. Then if you'd like, you can begin to let your spine round. You don't have to be really actively reaching forward here unless you want to, but if you are actively reaching forward, pull those shoulders away from your ears, kind of relax your arms down. If you'd like, you can take your thumbs to your soles of your feet and give yourself a little massage. Just thank them for all their hard work. Eyes can be open or closed here. And then returning to your breath if you lost it. Your observation, staying present. When you feel comfortable, inhale, gently lift yourself up. Again, maybe walking your hands close into you. Again, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to take this into a reclined butterfly. So again, if you want that blanket to support your knees, if they feel a little awkward, lift it up. You can take the blanket over your feet, put them underneath your knees or your pillow. But when you're ready, hands will come behind us. Fingertips are going to be facing forward, and then we'll gently lower one forearm down and then the other, and then gradually, gently making our way all the way down to our backs. Again, legs are still open, soles of our feet are touching. You can place your hands on your belly here. Coming back to that belly breath. Allowing it to expand, getting that fullest breath that you can take. We'll only be here for a few more breath cycles. Next inhale, we'll take both feet, gently bring them together into the center. Soles of our feet are planted on the earth. You can gently windshield wipe your legs from side to side. We'll take a quick bridge here. So we want to walk our feet up close to our bum. So almost that we can graze our fingertips to our heels. And then our feet are going to be hip width distance. We want to keep our knees at that hip width distance as well. Hands can come alongside of us on the floor, palms face down, or you can bend your arms so your fingertips are reaching towards the sky. When you're ready, take a deep inhale. And then exhale, press firmly into the earth, lifting your hips up off your mat. Shoulders are rolling underneath you. Chin is coming to your chest, but it's not touching it. Keeping those knees at hip width distance. Can you release your glutes here and activate your legs to press your hips up a little bit closer to the ceiling? Again, sticking with that breath. Feet are firmly planted and pressing into the earth here. Still breathing, you're not holding your breath. Take another deep inhale here. And then exhale, gently release down towards the earth. Windshield wipe your legs from side to side. Then we'll take one more bridge. This can be active or it can be restorative. So if you have a block or a big fluffy pillow you'd like, you can lift your hips up off the mat and then slip it right underneath your sacrum. So your sacrum is where your back flesh meets your bum flesh. So you don't want your back rolling off your pillow or block, and you don't want your butt hanging off your pillow or block. So it's that sweet spot. You'll know when you find it. But it's right in between where your back flesh meets your bum flesh. So you can stay here, or you can take an active bridge with me. Again, firmly planting your feet into the earth. We'll take a deep inhale together. And then exhale, press everything down and lift your hips towards the sky. Chest is lifting and shoulders are rolling underneath you. Keeping your feet and knees hip width distance. Release tension in your glutes, activate your legs, press your hips towards the sky, and breathe. Don't hold your breath here. Again, eyes can be open or closed, gaze is at the ceiling. You don't want to turn your neck. Even if you're in a restorative pose, keep your gaze right up at the ceiling. If you're in this active pose, keep breathing. You got it. Again, releasing tension in your glutes, activate your legs. One more round of breath. We'll take a deep inhale together. And then exhale, gently release down to the earth. If you're in that restorative bridge here, you can keep that block underneath you. We'll take our legs up to the sky for legs up the wall. So our feet, you can open and close your toes, roll out your ankles. If you want to bend your knees in, you can. Any little movement with your legs. Just giving them a little bit of love. You can shake them out a little bit. Just be careful if you are on a block. Hands can be down by your side or on your belly. We'll gently make our way into happy baby. So if you're on a block or a pillow, you're going to gently place your feet on the ground, lift up your hips, and take it out before you come into happy baby. In our happy baby, your feet can come out wide. You can grab the outside edges of your feet. outside edges of your thighs or your calves, whatever feels best. And you can begin rocking from side to side, kicking one leg out, maybe pulling one in. Whatever feels best, taking any movement that you're craving. And when you're ready, we'll bring both knees together. Take a few knee circles here together so they're expanding out on an inhale and exhale, coming in close to your chest, giving your sacrum a nice little massage here. We'll gently come back through center. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, pull everything in. Forehead to knees. Giving yourself one last hug here before we make our way to Shavasana. Take an inhale as you gently release towards the floor. And then setting up for your Shavasana again, you can take your feet out as wide as your mat, knock your knees together on the inside. Or you can bring that blanket right underneath your knees. It's rolled up like a cylinder here. Or a pillow, whatever you have available. And then again, coming back to our breath. Letting go of any breath work or breathing pattern we are trying to maintain during our practice. Working our way from our toes, relaxing them and letting our feet fall open to the side if our legs are extended. Turning off your knees or your thighs. And letting the legs relax down into the earth. Gently allowing your belly, your chest to rise and fall with every inhale and exhale. Your torso is being held up by the earth as you gently surrender and let it melt into your mat. Arms are relaxing and your fingers are gently curling in. Shoulders are melting into the mat. And we'll release any tension in our jaw. Pulling our tongue away from the roof of our mouth. And releasing any tension in between our eyebrows. Allowing any thought to just pass by. Allowing ourselves to be present in this moment. When you feel comfortable, gently begin wiggling your fingers and your toes. We'll gently take our hands above our heads. They're resting on the earth still. We'll take a big morning stretch. So inhale, maybe your feet lift off the earth, hands are lifting off. And then exhale, relax down. And when you're comfortable, gently roll to your favorite side, cradling your head in your arm. And when you're ready, press yourself up to a seated position. Easy pose or hero's pose, whatever feels best. And finding that midpoint, shoulders over hips. And take a moment to ourselves here. Next, inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come through heart center. You can gaze down at your fingertips or keep your eyes closed. Returning to our intention, our thanks, or our love. Thank you guys so much for flowing with me today. It was an honor. Sorry, I didn't know I was facing that way. Anyway, I can't wait to see you guys next time. Namaste. Hello everyone, thank you so much for flowing along with me today. Your support is truly appreciated and it really means a lot. I would just like to remind you to like and subscribe to this channel so I can continue to put out free videos and tutorials, meditations weekly just for you guys. Also, leave me a comment and let me know how you feel, or if you have any recommendations for upcoming videos or meditations that you would like to try. I'm always open, and let me know. Let's get connected. Again, remembering to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.